Hey friends, welcome to your reading. Today's reading is all about your most profitable content niche and what will make you a successful creator. If you're here, you may have been feeling called to create content lately, but maybe you aren't sure what niche will actually work for you. Maybe you've been stuck between passions or wondering which direction will lead you to the most success, happiness, and income. Today, we're diving into the content niche that's aligned with your soul, your creative energy, and your financial future. Whether you're just starting or reinventing your brand, this reading is going to help you find the path that magnetizes success, joy, and abundance. Let's find your most profitable purpose as a creator. If you are new to pick a card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to pick the pile or the crystal that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here with rose quartz. We have pile 2 here with amethyst. We have pile 3 here with tree agate, and we have pile 4 here with pink amethyst. You can choose one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you. But when you're ready, go to the description of this video, find the timestamp that is linked to your pile, and then you can skip ahead to your reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I will see you on the other side. Hey pile 1, hey friends, welcome to your reading. So let's talk about the content niche you're destined to succeed in. We'll talk about the category or topic that fits you best, and we'll dive into what feels creatively fulfilling long term. So we have the 7 of Wands up right here. And so this card shows a person who is standing strong. They're defending their position and they're at the top. So I feel like you're not afraid to go against the grain, pile 1. In fact, your success comes from being unapologetically different. So you are here to challenge the mainstream, to stand out because you dare to be controversial or passionate or pioneering. I feel like maybe your content niche isn't for everyone, and that is actually your strength. So for example, maybe some of you here would have like a hot takes channel where somebody starts a commentary, or an opinion channel where they analyze celebrity pop culture, right? Or spiritual trends, or maybe even taboo self-help practices, and you gain loyal fans because of your fearless honesty. Maybe some of you here want to be a bold educator, right? Maybe you want to be a YouTuber that teaches astrology or tarot in a very raw, no BS way, right? Like maybe you challenge fluff and gatekeeping and dogma in spiritual places, right? And I feel like your audience will grow because you're willing to say what others won't. I also feel like this could be the energy of you being an advocate for people who kind of feel like misfits. Maybe you are someone who creates content around neurodivergence or chronic illness, or maybe recovering from cults, right? I'm just naming a whole bunch of like different things. But maybe you gain traction because you speak truth to power and you validate the unseen. So pile 1, I'm really feeling like you're not here to blend in. You're here to shake the table, is what I'm feeling. So the more that you speak the truth, then the more that your niche is going to find you. Especially those who are hungry for that like really raw authenticity. I know I was when I first came across these pick a card readings on YouTube. I like honestly didn't even know what these were before, but I came across one, and yeah, it changed my life forever. Here we are. Okay, so we have deep diver. This one says diving into a task. And so I feel like this speaks to obsessive focus, going deep on a topic instead of skimming the surface. You don't just dabble, you commit and explore and master. Pile 1, your success lies in hyper niche content, diving deep into one subject with intense passion. So think about deep dive explainer videos, right? Master classes, maybe even long form storytelling. So for example, maybe some of you here would do well with like a true crime tarot channel. Maybe someone who mixes detailed unsolved case research with spiritual commentary or astrology, and you take people way beyond surface analysis. Maybe some of you here want to have like a witchcraft and history channel, right? Maybe you're a creator who builds a library of videos where you explore the history of magical practices or folk rituals around the world, right? And you become the go-to source for in-depth magical education. Maybe some of you here want to be a creator around healing after narcissistic abuse. Maybe some of you here, are creators who make layered, thoughtful content about your own healing journey, and you dive into trauma and inner child work and somatic healing, and you become a lifeline for others in similar situations. So again, pile 1, you are not meant to skim. You are meant to go deep, deeper than others are willing, is what I'm hearing. And so I feel like that's why people are going to trust you. This is why they're going to follow you. This is why they're going to invest in what you have to offer here. Now let's talk about what niche will be the most profitable for you. Let's talk about where your monetizable magic lives and which type of content or even platform brings the best ROI for you. We can also talk about potential income streams. So we have the Empress in reverse here. So this speaks to creativity not fully being nurtured, or maybe you are a powerful creator who is undervaluing their own magic. So pile 1, your monetizable niche is one where you create from inner truth, not performance. But also when you learn to receive too, right? So I feel like with this, you're most profitable when you channel your unique creativity into content that's raw and emotional and healing. But when you stop people pleasing, right? You don't have to do what others do. You only have to do what you want to do or what you can do. So maybe some of you here, again, want to have like a channel that is more centered around being a wounded healer, right? Maybe you're a creator that shares your emotional story about motherhood or body image or burnout, and you create reels or podcasts or Substack posts that really deeply resonate and they attract brand sponsorships or Patreon supporters, right? Or YouTube channel membership supporters, right? Maybe some of you here want to have a channel that is focused on creative rituals and DIY content, right? Maybe you want to teach others how to make spell jars or intuitive paintings or journal spreads that heal. And eventually you monetize through Shopify or Etsy or, Squarespace or whatever it is, or workshops, right? Or maybe some of you here will have passive digital downloads. I also feel like some of you here would do great with like an inner child healing series, right? Maybe a niche around reparenting or gentle parenting or ancestral healing through storytelling, right? Poetry, maybe guided visuals. I feel like you are really good at creating a safe space where people will pay to access through membership or one-on-one work with you, if that's something that you're feeling called to. Pile 1, you were never too much. I feel like you were overflowing. And so the more that you allow yourself to receive, be it money or praise or rest, the more that this niche is going to grow roots and bear fruit. We also have the past, releasing, rebirth, and spring. This one says, and so I listened as my soul told me to let the past go so I may awaken to how much I've grown. Pile 1, you're just not the same person as you used to be. You are who you are, such a beautiful divine soul, like you always have been, but you have evolved and shifted and bloomed in so many different ways. Like I feel like you've lived many lives. I also want to point out that we have, this says like rebirth, spring, and this one says spring, rebuilding, awakening, awakening and rebirth. So you have like double rebirth energy, double spring energy. So you're definitely on the precipice of a new start here. This is super juicy and super exciting, pile 2. Let's find out more. So with the past card here, I feel like maybe you're still holding on to old creative identities or fears. Maybe some of you here fear being seen or judged or leaving behind the version of you who played it safe. Pile 2, this fear isn't failure. It's actually transformation. And so if you are scared of letting go of who you used to be to become the creator that you're meant to be, I just want to let you know that I see you and I feel you, because I totally have been through the same thing, with creating this channel and creating this brand and creating my online business as well. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of you here are teachers, right? Or maybe you're going to leave your job as a teacher to become a creative coach, right? Maybe you're someone who trained as a teacher, but you feel guilty around leaving that role. But when you finally do and you start, like say, a YouTube channel teaching creative journaling, your joy and your income explode. Maybe some of you here want to do this like quiet artist leap, right? Maybe you're a soft-spoken artist who hides your voice and your face for years, and then when you finally start sharing your personal voiceovers over painting videos, then people connect and the sales soar. Maybe this is representative of some of you leaving the family business, right? Maybe you're someone who's working in their family's business and you hesitate to strike out solo, but once you do, you sell out online and you find your peace, right? So with this, I want you to remember, pile one, that you're not leaving yourself behind, but you're actually planting a version of you that's ready to bloom. So it's time for you to let the past go, right? Let it compost and really let the spring begin. So next, let's talk about what blocks or fears are holding you back from fully committing. We have the 10 of Wands in reverse here. And so this is burnout energy. Maybe some of you here are carrying too much on your own, or you believe that success has to come through exhaustion. I'm hearing like generational patterns. Like maybe this is something that you were taught like growing up, or you feel like you had to do, right? So I wonder if some of you here also procrastinate from like perfectionism or overthinking. But I feel like you could be carrying burdens that aren't even yours. So maybe your niche is going to thrive when you learn to do less, but more meaningfully, right? So like delegate, simplify, and just let it be enough. So maybe some of you here are like a burnt out multi-nicher, right? Maybe you're a creator who tried doing vlogs and reels and tarot and parenting content, constantly shifting. And once you picked one deep niche and you pre-planned your content, your channel finally took off. Or maybe some of you here are recovering perfectionists, right? And you're a creator who sat on a course for months, tweaking it. And one day you finally launched like a beta version, right? And it not only sold, but it gave you real testimonials. Maybe some of you here would want to do like a single parent channel, right? Maybe you are a busy mom who only had time for 2 posts a week, but your storytelling is so good that your small audience turned into this fierce, loyal community that was extremely supportive, right? So pile one, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. And when you drop the pressure, that's when I feel like you're finally going to rise. We also have grasshopper spirit. Take a leap of faith. This is good luck, pile one. This is that cosmic go for it card. Your intuition has already whispered what you need to do. You just need to act, right? Success is not going to come from playing it safe. So your most profitable niche will ask you to leap before you fully feel ready, right? And spoiler alert, but no one ever is. So maybe some of you here go from private to public, right? Maybe you're a creator who has been intuitively doing readings privately, right? And then one day you posted it publicly and it went viral, and now you run some sort of full-time channel on this. Maybe some of you here are going to make the podcast leap, right? Maybe you're somebody who records your thoughts into voice memos for a year, and then one day you launch your podcast and it becomes your soul aligned income stream. Maybe some of you here are ready to make a bold pivot, right? Maybe you are a creator that switches from doing beauty tutorials to deep emotional healing content, right? And maybe it feels scary, but the authenticity is so magnetic. So pile one, everything that you want is on the other side of the leap. The bridge will appear when you jump. I know, as like paradoxical as that sounds, or as, it doesn't like make logical sense, but that's what I'm feeling. So let's talk about what success is going to look like when you step into this path. Let's get a snapshot of your future as a thriving, aligned content creator. So we have the Hanged Woman here. This is the Hanged Man. So with this card, I feel like you're going to see the world differently, right? When you succeed, it's not because you chased trends. It's because you flipped the script and you stayed aligned. Success for you won't look like everyone else's. It will feel slower and deeper and more spiritual, but it will also be sustainable and soulful and real. So maybe for some of you here, this is like a slow burn channel, right? Maybe you're a creator who grew slowly and consistently, but after a year of deep, thoughtful uploads, a single video catapults your audience and brings in these brand deals that you've been hoping for. Maybe some of you here are more of like a ritual creator, right? Maybe you build your content around the moon cycles or seasonal rhythms, right? Maybe you don't follow the algorithm, but your community lives by your wisdom. Maybe some of you here are going to be more of like a sacred business coach, right? Maybe you want to be a creator who teaches content strategy through intuition and ritual instead of hustle. And you're attracting aligned clients who are willing to pay that premium. So pile one, I feel like you came here to do it differently, and it's your time to trust that the view from upside down is where the magic lives for you. We also have spring. This one says rebuilding, awakening, and rebirth. So again, a double confirmation of a new start for you. I feel like this is your hope returning, right? Your creative energy flowing again, and finally seeing the first blooms of your consistent work. So I feel like your future niche feels like life is coming back for you. So you will rebuild, pile 1, and when you do, it will be with color and courage and clarity. And your success, it won't be a fluke. It'll be earned joy. And I just feel like some of you here are going to make a major creative comeback. Maybe you're someone who ghosted YouTube for 8 months and then you returned with a rebranded channel and you thrive because the new direction feels like truth. Maybe for some of you, your healing is going to lead to your wealth, right? Maybe you're a creator who finally prioritized therapy, right? And you begin to channel that healing into your work, creating this soul-led, profitable content. Maybe some of you here want to put down new roots, right? Maybe someone moves cities or leaves a toxic job or starts fresh, and the niche that you finally choose, it becomes the most profitable and freeing thing for you yet. So success isn't a finish line, pile 1. It's a season, and I feel like your spring, it's arriving one post, one truth, and one brave leap at a time. Let's roll some astro dice. So what else does pile 1 need to know? Okay, so we have Pluto in the 2nd house. With Pluto in the 2nd house here, I feel like you're going to have this powerful transformation through your value and your resources. So pile 1, you are meant to create content that transforms how other people see their worth, money, or possessions. Your niche should help people feel empowered, in control, or deeply changed around things like security and self-worth. So some profitable content niche examples here could be shadow work plus money healing, right? Will you teach how facing fears transforms finances? Or maybe some of you here want to teach financial empowerment for women, right? From trauma to wealth. Maybe some of you here would be drawn to doing mystic wealth manifestation, right? Astrology, rituals, deep money truths. I also feel like this could represent a luxury with depth, right? Magnetic content around wealth or style or soul. I feel like also this could be like survival to success stories, like helping people reclaim their power after loss or crisis. So thanks, friends. I really appreciate you being here. If you are building your dream life through content creation, I've got more readings coming up that are all about aligning with abundance, purpose, and your unique creative energy. So remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to keep manifesting with us here every week at Tidal Tarot. Remember, your voice, your story, and your energy matter. The right people will feel you when you speak from your truth, pile 1. If you want to go deeper, check out my other readings on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. I have tons of pick-a-card readings on manifesting your best life, your dream career, your home, money breakthroughs, and your next level self. Thank you for being here. As always, it is such an honor to read for you, friends. I will see you on the next video. Bye, Tidal fam. Lots of love. Hey, pile 2. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's talk about the content niche that you are destined to succeed in. We'll talk about the category or topic that fits you best, and what feels creatively fulfilling long term. So we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse here, and this can talk about this deep imbalance around giving and receiving. It can talk about overgiving, people pleasing, or trying to earn your worth through, for example, content creation, right? So you are meant to create from a healed relationship with your audience where your content isn't a cry for like approval, right? For example, right? So I feel like your channel would be healing and sharing and eventually receiving back. You are here to teach about reciprocity, pile 2. So maybe some of you here want to be a burnout recovery mentor, right? Maybe you want to be a creator who helps other people stop overgiving, or you want to help them set boundaries or heal from people pleasing. And you tell your personal story of burnout and you create courses or Patreon series around energetic balance. Maybe some of you here want to be spiritual boundaries coaches. Maybe some of you here want to be a spiritual boundaries coach. Maybe you create content around spiritual discernment or energy protection or clearing toxic patterns, and you draw people in who are empaths and intuitives or recovering healers. Maybe some of you here want to be like a sovereign creatrix, right? Maybe you're somebody who left the corporate grind and you share how you built your business without selling your soul, and you mentor other people through templates or Substack or writings or even one-on-one sessions. I feel like you're not here to serve endlessly without return, pile 2. You are here to model a new way, one where your energy is sacred and your work supports both you and others. We also have Moon Maiden, New Beginnings. So this is about emerging from the shadows. Your content niche is going to thrive when it mirrors your own rebirth story, pile 2. So this is a very highly creative, emotional, and intuitive card. So I feel like you shine most when you create around what you survived. Think new chapters, emotional awakenings, maybe even stepping into feminine power after years of shrinking. So maybe some of you here want to be a creator who shares their story of reclaiming their softness and sensuality in sacred rituals, and your content blends storytelling with movement and journaling or spiritual self-care, right? Everything around feminine awakening. Maybe some of you here want to do new beginnings vlogs, right? Think starting over content, right? Like documenting a move or going no contact. Your audience is going to grow because they're watching someone go through rebirth in real time. Maybe some of you here would be drawn to midlife rebirth content, right? So like a creator like who is maybe 40 years old or older, whatever it is. And by the way, I feel like many people can have midlife rebirths at any age, right? Age is nothing but a number, but that's just an example, right? Like maybe you are a creator who you consider to be a little bit older, whatever it is, and you create I don't want to say older though, just not like a kid, right? But anyway, maybe you're a creator who starts a niche around life after kids or career burnout or major transformation, and you speak to those who are ready to reclaim themselves. I feel like your content is the lighthouse for others who are emerging from their own darkness. And the more that you honor your new beginning, the more that people will find their own through your work, is what I'm feeling here. So next, let's talk about what niche will be most profitable for you. Let's talk about where your monetizable magic lives, what type of content or platform will bring the best ROI for you, right? Return on investment, and what sort of potential income streams you could tap into. So we have the Knight of Pentacles here. And this is great because the Knight of Pentacles is a builder. Pile 2, you are meant to succeed in a niche that's rooted in trust, consistency, and real value, right? Maybe you're not chasing virality or going viral, but your people stick around and they invest in you. So maybe your monetizable niche involves practical guidance or slow growth or long-term offerings, things like courses or mentorships or paid community, right? Like think legacy over likes. So maybe some of you here want to create sacred business content where you teach intuitive creators how to build long-term businesses rooted in values and not hustle. Maybe you offer templates or digital products or one-on-one coaching. Maybe this is you having some sort of practical spirituality channel where you show others how to weave magic into daily life using things like routines and seasonal rituals and grounded metaphysics. Maybe this is you having some sort of creative structure and planning, right? Maybe your niche is going to help other creatives or moms or multi-passionates bring structure to their chaos, right? With planners, workflows, things like digital downloads. I think that success doesn't have to be a sprint, Pile 2. You are the steady flame that never burns out, and people trust you with their transformation because of that. We also have the Protectress, Strength, Boundaries, Amulet. Your energy is valuable, protect it well. So I wonder if any of you here have ever struggled with the fear around being too much or not being enough. Maybe some of you here feel being vulnerable online, or you may have learned to silence your voice to avoid criticism or conflict. Your niche is going to require you to lead with sacred boundaries and fierce passion. But for right now, I feel like you're still protecting your heart, Pile 2. And I feel like your creativity, it almost feels like it's being limited when you're choosing to stay too safe. So maybe some of you here consider yourself a masked mystic of some way. Maybe you're a creator who hides their face and avoids sharing personal stories, and one day you post a video where you're talking about surviving narcissistic abuse and your audience explodes and, people resonate with that. Or maybe some of you here are kind of like an overprotective creator, right? Someone who has dozens of unpublished videos or posts, and when you finally launch a tiny offering, you realize that people aren't here to judge you, but they're here to connect with you. Maybe some of you here are more of like the guarded guide, right? Maybe you're a tarot reader who fears backlash or being wrong, so you censor your messages. And once you trust your voice and you lean into channeling, your sessions sell out, right? So you do not have to be unguarded to be open. Your wisdom is your amulet, pile 2. And when you speak with truth and boundaries, your audience is going to feel safe to transform with you. So let's talk about what blocks or fears are holding you back from fully committing. We have the star in reverse here. So this can talk about creative disillusionment or fear of visibility. Maybe you're questioning like, who am I to shine, or what if I fail publicly? And pile 2, maybe you fear claiming your role as a guide or a healer or a teacher, but it's exactly what you're here to do. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be true. So maybe some of you here, again, are like a hidden healer. Maybe you're a creator who offers free readings or tips, but you avoid charging, fearing that you're not healed enough. And when you embrace your imperfect journey, then you attract clients who are seeking realness, not perfection. Maybe some of you here are feeling like the cynical comeback, right? Maybe you're a creator who felt like they were ghosted by a past audience and you start to doubt if you were meant for this. But when you start showing up again, wiser and more grounded, your new audience is even better aligned with you. Maybe some of you here feel like you're the self-doubter, right? Maybe you're a creator who is comparing themselves to other people in your niche, right? But when you own your unique angle, right? Like, for example, astrology through storytelling, not data, then you finally find your tribe. So pile 2, you do not need to be the brightest star, just the truest one. The more that you shine with authenticity and humility and grace, the more people are going to find light through you. We also have wolf spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. Maybe some of you here might be afraid of fully committing to your content niche because deep down, again, you're wondering like, who am I to teach this? Or am I experienced enough? Or what if somebody calls me out for not being an expert? But the wolf here says, you don't need another course. You just need to trust what life has already taught you, pile 2. You've walked through the fire, you've healed the wounds, you've raised the kids, right? You've rebuilt the self-worth, and you've survived betrayal. That is the wisdom that you're meant to share, pile 2. Your niche doesn't have to require a degree, it just requires truth. I feel like some of you here could be like a self-taught mentor. Like maybe you're a creator who spent 10 years healing your trauma through books or therapy or journaling or tarot, and you're afraid to offer workshops because you're not a licensed therapist. But when you finally start sharing what helped you with clear disclaimers and personal storytelling, your audience thrives off that authenticity, not credentials. Right? Maybe some of you here are like the healing mom, right? Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom who's healed her family's dynamics through conscious parenting, and you want to start a podcast, but you fear judgment from real experts. Maybe you take the leap anyway, and your real life wisdom speaks more powerfully than textbooks ever could because it's lived, right? Maybe some of you here are the formal people pleaser, right? Maybe you're someone who breaks free from years of codependency and you start a blog to share your story. But now you're scared to be seen as a guru, but over time you realize that people don't want perfection. They want proof that it's possible. So I feel like with this card, the wolf doesn't second guess its howl, pile 2, and neither should you. You've already lived the lessons that other people are just beginning to learn. So when you trust your inner teacher, your niche is going to become a sacred classroom, and your presence alone is the curriculum. So next, let's talk about what success looks like when you step into this path. Let's get a snapshot of your future as a thriving, aligned content creator. So we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse here. So this shows that you're here to build a legacy, but on your own terms. Maybe some of you here are going to leave behind traditional paths to begin to build a non-linear, creatively fulfilling empire. Maybe you don't want success that cages you. Maybe you want a soul-aligned livelihood, even if that means redefining what wealth looks like. Maybe some of you here thrive through meaningful work or a loyal community and authentic creative expression. Maybe some of you here feel like the sacred rebel, right? Maybe you're a creative who ditches their 9-to-5 to live in a tiny home and make content around intentional living, and you earn through affiliate links and long-form storytelling. Maybe some of you here feel like you're a bit of an unconventional healer. Maybe you're someone who creates a membership that includes tarot and journal prompts and shadow work. And maybe it doesn't scale fast, but it sustains you fully and it feeds your soul. I feel like maybe some of you here could be like the wandering witch. Maybe you're a digital nomad who makes content about homeschooling and rituals and freedom, and you monetize via workshops and cozy Patreon tiers. So pile 2, your legacy won't be built in a skyscraper. It feels like it'll be built in like a cottage or a garden or a soul-led corner of the internet where people find refuge in your truth. We also have harvest here. So this one says determination, hard work. So this card confirms that when you commit, your content will yield lasting, real abundance. But this harvest is not from hustle. It's from aligned, soulful effort over time. So I feel like your niche will flourish when you start to trust the slow unfolding of things. Each post, each offer, each conversation is a seed. And you are a tender, tenacious gardener, pile 2. Maybe some of you here feel like you're the consistent creator. Maybe you're a YouTuber who grows slowly over 2 years with only 5,000 subs, with only 5K subs, but your courses and your products bring in $10,000 months, right? Because your people trust you deeply. Maybe some of you here want the soft success, right? Maybe you're a mom who launches a gentle healing brand through TikTok, combining affirmations and herbal tips and voiceovers, and your quiet consistency leads to some sort of viral product line. Maybe some of you here are like the soul farmer, right? Like a creator who starts with blog posts and tarot videos that no one watches, but a year later they have a devoted audience who reads every word and supports every launch and buys every offering. So pile 2, your harvest is coming, not from chasing trends, but from watering your truth daily. So I feel like when your blooms come, they're gonna last a lifetime. So let's get some astro dice for you. What else does pile 2 need to know? We have Moon in the 1st house. Oh, excuse me, Moon in the 7th house. So I feel like with the Moon in the 7th house here, this represents emotional connection through relationships. So pile 2, you are here to reflect people's feelings in relationships, you know, romantic, platonic, or business. I just feel like your content is going to thrive when it nurtures emotional intelligence, things like connection and relating to others. So maybe some profitable content niches for you could be like love and relationship tarot readings, right? What are they feeling? Will they come back? Those types of topics. Maybe some of you here would do great with attachment style healing, right? Because safe love starts from within. Maybe some of you here want to do intuitive dating advice, right? Like empath plus moon vibes, right? This is romantic insight. Maybe some of you here want to do relationship astrology, right? Moon signs or synastry or emotional compatibility. Maybe some of you here want to do soft life plus conscious partnership content, right? Maybe you want to talk about boundaries or balance and beauty and connection. But so I just feel here that the key vibe is going to be empathic and relatable and romantic and soothing. So thank you so much, friends. If you are building a dream life through content creation, I have more readings coming that are all about aligning with abundance, purpose, and your unique creative energy. So remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to keep manifesting with us here every week at Tidal Tarot. Remember, your voice, your story, and your energy matter. The right people will feel you when you speak from your truth, pile 2. If you want to go deeper, check out my other readings on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. I have tons of pick a card readings on manifesting your best life, your dream career, your home, your money breakthroughs, and your next level self. Thank you so much for being here. As always, it is such an honor to read for you, friends. I will see you on the next video. Bye, Tidal fam. Lots of love. Bye. Hi, pile 3. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. So let's talk about the content niche that you're destined to succeed in. We'll talk about the category or topic that fits you best and what will feel creatively fulfilling long-term for you. So we have the Queen of Pentacles here. This is the divine nurturer. The Queen is grounded, wise, and resourceful, and she's the master of making life beautiful, sacred, and functional at the same time. So I feel like your niche is about creating content that feels like home, something that feels nourishing, practical, loving, and soulful. You are meant to be the person people come to when they're overwhelmed and need a gentle, grounded guide. Maybe some of you here want to do soft living content where you create videos around slow mornings and intentional homemaking and herbal self-care or gentle routines. Maybe you monetize through product recommendations or things like ebooks or Patreon. Maybe some of you here want to create sacred systems, right? Maybe a channel where you teach aligned time management or ritualize cleaning or seasonal goal setting with digital downloads or Notion templates. Maybe some of you here want to heal through the body, right? Maybe you post on embodiment or womb wisdom or intuitive healing or holistic parenting, and you offer courses or memberships that support physical or emotional nourishment. I feel like you've always made other people feel safe, and so now your niche is asking you to do the same for yourself and to let others support you back. We also have empty well, time to replenish. So this reveals the hidden truth, right? You've been giving from depletion, pile 3. Your creative energy has been on empty, and your path to success lies in creating content that also nourishes you. So your niche is most successful when it replenishes you while you create it. Pile 3, you are not here to hustle. You are here to pour from overflow. When you feel lit up, your audience will feel it too. That reminds me of like human design types. Check out your human design type. It's a quick Google search, like free human design chart calculator. I actually have a link to one of my favorite human design type quizzes, and I have it linked through my podcast. So if you look in the link in the description, you click on my podcast, the That's Deep podcast, I have a bunch of episodes broken down about human design and how to understand your type in the easy beginner friendly way. And I do have a link in there for you to figure out your type if you feel called. Because when I heard like when I said that you're here to do what lights you up, it reminded me of like a generator in human design. I'm a generator, and so a lot of the lessons I've learned around things is learning how to say no to things that don't light me up and leaning more into the things that do. So maybe you create creative rest guides where you create a platform where you share about burnout recovery or sleep rituals or sacred rest, and you develop passive income through things like meditation libraries or guided journaling packs. Maybe some of you here create around seasonal living, right? Maybe you have a channel where you live in sync with the seasons and you share what's helping you restore. So think things like moon calendars, solstice rituals, nourishing recipes. Maybe some of you here are going to be teaching energy hygiene and boundaries. I feel like you're going to teach others how to replenish their nervous system or spiritual field. Maybe you offer digital courses or one-to-one sessions or softly structured retreats. Pile 3, I feel like you've been the well for everyone else, and now it's your time to refill, right? So your most successful niche is going to be the one that gives back to you every single time that you post. So next, let's talk about what niche will be the most profitable for you. Let's talk about where your monetizable magic lives and which type of content or even platform will bring the most return on investment for you or ROI, and what sort of potential income streams you could go after. So we have the 6 of Wands here. So this is the card of visibility, of public celebration, things like success. So maybe some of you here feel uncomfortable in the spotlight, but your niche wants you to be seen. And when you allow yourself to shine, your community will lift you up and your success will ripple. I feel like you're meant to thrive in a niche that brings you recognition and tangible wins, whether this is through things like community growth or monetization or collaborations. The more that you own your story, the more profitable this becomes. I also feel like some of you here could be creating around like an empowered healing journey, right? Maybe you post vulnerable, triumphant stories of healing or growth or change through reels or shorts or visual storytelling. And monetization comes through things like podcast interviews or speaking or branded collaborations. Maybe some of you here do transformation showcases where you help others celebrate growth, maybe through things like body image or mindset or spiritual breakthroughs. Your niche is going to build community and attract sponsors who love your authentic voice. Maybe some of you here want to do like celebration and ritual content. Maybe you want to teach people how to honor milestones like birthdays or moon phases or endings or beginnings with creativity. Maybe you want to sell ritual kits or digital tools or celebration journals. Pile 3, you were never meant to stay hidden. Your success isn't ego-driven. It's a light for others who forgot they could win too. We also have magic mushroom, miracles, fairy energy, opening up. This one says, stay open to the good and beautiful things. So I feel like this card adds a touch of this enchanted rebellion to the Six of Wands. So pile 3, you're not here to just succeed, but you're here to succeed magically, playfully, and unexpectedly. You attract miracles when you stop trying to control the outcome. When you step into joy and you open up to the weird, the mystical, and the wonder-filled, your niche becomes not only profitable, but magnetic. You create miracles when you lean into your enchantment. So maybe some of you here want to have a whimsical healing channel where you blend inner child work with fairy tale archetypes and fantasy aesthetics into your content. People come for the magic and stay for the truth. Maybe some of you here want to do something where manifestation meets mushrooms, right? Maybe you weave in plant spirit wisdom or visual poetry into your teachings on abundance, and your channel becomes a mystical wellspring. Maybe some of you here are drawn to a more creative alchemy niche, where you bring joy and light into heavy topics, where you mix color and play and intuition into your healing content, and your originality opens doors where no strategy could plan for. So pile 3, you don't need to be logical to succeed, you just need to be luminous, and your niche is going to thrive when you believe in your magic and create from the heart, not just the head. So next, let's talk about what blocks or fears are holding you back from fully committing. We have the Queen of Wands here. So this queen is a radiant, confident, visible creative, but she's showing up here as a block. So again, maybe you're afraid of being too much, or you may shrink to avoid judgment or envy. Or maybe you worry that your magnetism will cost you love or friendship or safety. You have this beautiful natural charisma, and people already look to you for inspiration, pile 3. But you may hide your fire out of fear that it'll draw the wrong kind of attention. I feel like some of you have like a dimmed light, right? Like maybe you're a creator who keeps their videos neutral and torched down. And when you finally let your sparkle through, maybe bold lipstick, wild hair, unfiltered truth, then your audience explodes with love. Maybe some of you here have a fear of envy, right? Maybe you're someone who grew up being told not to brag or don't outshine others, right? We don't want to hurt other people's feelings. Don't be too much. Don't be too great. And then you finally create your dream course and you realize that your light inspires and not repels, right? Maybe some of you here have this like visibility freeze where you're a creator that makes beautiful content, but you never share it. And one day you post without editing it to death and it connects because it's raw and it's real. Pile 3, your light is not a threat. It's a torch. And so the more you let it blaze, the more you'll guide others out of their own darkness. We also have giraffe spirit here. This one says, see the big picture. So this oracle confirms that you're holding yourself back by focusing too small. You know, maybe worrying about one post or one hater or one missed opportunity. But your long-term success comes from zooming out. You're not here to win the algorithm, you are here to win hearts. And your future is so much bigger than your current doubts, pile 3. Maybe some of you here are the long view creator. Maybe you're a tarot reader who posts consistently even when views are low, and 6 months later, one old video randomly goes viral, and your business transforms overnight. Today, you know what's crazy? I kept hearing Overnight Celebrity by Twista. All day long, it's popping up all over the place. So yeah, that could definitely be a confirmation for you that like things will happen quick, nice and quick. Maybe some of you here are more of like a big picture coach, right? Maybe you're a spiritual mentor who keeps getting lost in engagement numbers, but when you step back and you ask, what legacy am I building? Then you finally feel aligned again. Maybe you're the purpose-focused artist. Maybe you're a creator who switches from hustle content to soul-led series, and it's slower, but it builds a body of work that feels like a portfolio, not just content. Pile 3, you are building something bigger than one moment, so keep going, because your purpose is panoramic, pile 3. Now let's talk about what success looks like when you step into this path. Let's get a snapshot of your future as a thriving, aligned content creator. So we have the Four of Wands in reverse. So this is a card of celebration, of milestones and homecoming, but in reverse, it can suggest that your success it may feel delayed, right? Or not extremely celebrated in the right way. And maybe you don't feel as validated in the way that you hoped, but maybe that doesn't mean that you're not thriving. Like maybe your success looks like inner peace and creative freedom, even if it's quieter than you imagined. Maybe this even represents like wanting to celebrate in private. Like maybe you hit a huge goal and you become this like major creator here on YouTube, but it's something that you want to keep close to you in private, and maybe only have like a small intimate gathering with your loved ones at home, and like do a cake and a little confetti and a little dance party, like, or do a little moonlight string light dinner outside in your yard or whatever it is. But I feel like your soul will feel like it belongs again with this. It feels like for some of you this is the quiet bloom. Maybe you're a creator who doesn't necessarily get viral views, but you consistently earn $3,000 a month from a small, loyal audience who loves your offers. Maybe some of you here have redefined your milestones, right? Like instead of 1 million views, your success looks like writing a book or finishing a course or moving to that dream town. You know, the things that matter to you and not to the world, not vanity metrics. I also, again, I'm feeling like this private joy, right? So like maybe you leave a toxic environment and you finally make art again, or you finally fall in love with life. And that joy, even without applause, is your breakthrough. So I feel like success won't always look like confetti, but although bring some confetti and glitter into all situations if you feel like it, you know, do what you want, do what you will. But success, yeah, it won't always look like confetti. Sometimes it looks like finally exhaling and reclaiming your time and coming home to yourself. We also have Earthworm. This says clarity and rumination. So Earthworm energy speaks to being new at something, having this beginner's mind or being a beginner again and slowly making your way through the dark. But it can also represent deep clarity that comes from working underground and building slowly and creating from truth. So you don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to start moving, even if it's messy. And over time, your clarity will grow roots and your niche will take shape in surprising ways. Pile 3. Maybe some of you here are the reluctant beginner, right? Maybe you're a creator who feels unqualified or unsure or unpolished, but you keep posting. And over months, your voice sharpens and your brand emerges and your audience finds you. Maybe this is the deep work creatrix, right? Maybe this is you writing in secret for years, and when you finally share your poetry and your musings, it instantly hits because the work has been ripening all along. Or maybe some of you here feel like the compost queen, right? Maybe you're a creator who lets your old identities die, and you post clunky experimental videos for a while, and then one day it all clicks and your work grows like a garden from rich composted soil. You don't have to start big, Pile 3, you just have to start. And from the earth comes all magic, and your clarity will grow the more that you root into your own rhythm. So let's get some astro dice for Pile 3. What else do we need to know? We have Venus. Oh, actually that's Mars, right? Yeah, that's Mars, excuse me. We have Mars in the 6th house. So with Mars in the 6th house here, this can talk about work ethic, health, and hustle. So Pile 3, you are built for action, things like discipline and drive in your daily routines. Your most successful content niche is going to show others how to take motivated action and improve their work life or optimize their health and their habits. So some profitable content niches for you could be like productivity and motivation tarot, right? Asking what's blocking your progress or how to stay focused. Maybe some of you here want to create content around spiritual routines that work, meeting or showing people where manifesting meets discipline. Maybe some of you here want to do like fitness and mindset coaching, right? Maybe this is like daily energy and long-term goals. Maybe you want to create around work-life balance for creatives, right? Like burnout prevention or high performance rituals. Maybe some of you here want to do like health and energy astrology, right? Like Mars, Moon, and like that movement cycle. So the key vibe here is actionable, driven, no BS, just energetic and really grounded in results. So thank you so much, friends. If you are building a dream life through content creation, I've got more readings coming up that are all about aligning with abundance, purpose, and your unique creative energy. So remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to keep manifesting with us here every week at Tidal Tarot. Remember, your voice, your story, and your energy matter. The right people will feel you when you speak from your truth. If you want to go deeper, check out my other readings on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. I have tons of pick-a-card readings on manifesting your best life, your dream career, your home, your money breakthroughs, and your next level self. Thank you for being here. As always, it is such an honor to read for you. I'll see you on the next video. Bye, Tidal Tribe. Lots of love. Hey, Pile 4. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's talk about the content niche that you're designed to succeed in. Let's talk about the category or topic that fits you best and what creatively will feel fulfilling to you in the long term. So we have the Queen of Swords here, and with the Queen of Swords is the archetype of clear vision and fearless truth. She is intellectual, she's perceptive, she's direct, but she's also deeply wise and discerning. So Pile 4, I feel like your voice cuts through confusion and your audience craves that clarity. So I feel like you are destined to thrive in a content niche where you speak the truth with courage and precision. Your strength is in naming what others are afraid to admit, whether that's in spirituality or personal growth or social dynamics. Like, I'm feeling like some of you here were probably silenced in the past, but your voice is your power now. So maybe for some of you here, you want to do like a spiritual deconstruction or clarity channel where you challenge spiritual fluff and cult-like thinking or toxic positivity, and you offer clear, grounded insights that help people reclaim their sovereignty and their freedom. Maybe some of you here want to be a truth-telling coach or commentator, right? Like maybe you want to teach people how to set boundaries or recognize narcissistic abuse or unlearn codependency. I feel like you could build a profitable niche through courses or deep dives or consulting. Maybe some of you here want to do conscious education content, right? So maybe you explain esoteric or emotional topics with razor sharp clarity, like astrology for beginners or shadow work or ancestral healing. And you offer tiered digital teachings or writing. So Pile 4, you are not here to sugarcoat the truth. You are here to liberate through it. Your clarity is a healing blade, right? Cutting cords and carving new paths. We also have Vanishing Mirror, ego sublimation. So this is about ego death, it's about spiritual evolution and unmasking illusions. This is a powerful pair with the Queen of Swords because your content niche is going to be most fulfilling when it's soulful and honest and free of any sort of egoic desires, right? So you're not here to perform, you are here to reveal what's real, what matters, and what heals. So this is a niche where the more that you let go of needing to be liked, the more people deeply trust you. So maybe some of you here want to be an authenticity coach or a raw truth channel where you strip away personas and you show up unfiltered to talk about your spiritual journey or breakdowns or breakthroughs and evolution, and people follow you for your truth and not your polish. Maybe some of you here want to create some sort of like psycho-spiritual content where you integrate psychology, identity, and spirituality, and you show others how to peel back layers of conditioning. Or maybe even like mirror work or shadow work, right? Maybe you can guide others into radical self-awareness and reparenting through things like storytelling or writing or long-form reflections. So Pile 4, I feel like you're not building a brand, you're building a mirror, right? And the more that you vanish from performance and you stand in your truth, the more that your audience is going to find themselves through your words. So let's talk about what niche will be most profitable for you. Let's talk about where your monetizable magic lives and which type of content or even platform brings the most return on investment for you, or ROI. And we can also talk about potential income streams. So we have the Four of Pentacles here. So this shows up as a sign of structure, stability, things like value containment. Maybe some of you here fear letting go or trying something new, but your most profitable niche comes when you trust your foundations and you build slowly and intentionally and with long-term wealth in mind. Pile 4, you don't need to do everything, you just need to protect your energy and focus on what matters most. Your monetizable magic lives in offering high-value, focused, emotionally resonant work. This is about content that people will pay for because it's grounded and premium and wise. So maybe some of you here want to create this exclusive, insight-rich space, right? Like a paid Substack or a mentorship group or a private podcast where you share deeper spiritual or psychological wisdom, slowly building income through loyal listeners or readers. Maybe some of you here want to do one-to-one mentorship or consulting, right? Maybe you offer premium limited coaching to spiritual entrepreneurs or creatives or seekers who need someone grounded and honest to help them navigate big change. Or maybe some of you here want to create an evergreen truth library where you build a vault of long-form videos or masterclasses or essays, high value, high content, and timeless. So your content isn't trendy, it's essential. So you don't need to go viral to be valuable. You are the keeper of insight that others are willing to invest in, right? So less content, more clarity here. We also have the portal. This one says adventure, ancestors, calling. Are you ready? I feel like this adds a little bit more depth to the Four of Pentacles. So you're not just building structure, but you're answering a soul calling here, Pile 4. Your niche is profitable because it's sacred. You are walking through an ancestral gate, integrating wisdom from your lineage, intuition, and lived experience. Your niche is not just strategy, it's sacred architecture. So maybe some of you here want to create a spiritual legacy channel where you explore ancestor work or past lives or healing intergenerational trauma, and you turn it into storytelling or journaling or spiritual teaching. Maybe some of you here want to be a conscious storyteller, right? Where you post long-form content around what it means to awaken or return home to self or walk between worlds, integrating your own ancestral call. Maybe some of you here want to be a mystic teacher, right? Maybe you want to teach a blend of mysticism and discernment and grounded manifestation, like a spiritual professor who opens inner worlds. So Pile 4, you are not here to just build a niche. You are walking through a portal your ancestors left open for you. And every truth that you speak brings someone else through. So let's talk about what blocks or fears are holding you back from fully committing. We have the Six of Swords here. So this card is about moving on from pain, but not fully trusting the shore ahead. You may still carry fear from past burnout, betrayal, or being misunderstood when you spoke your truth before. Maybe some of you here are afraid of being disappointed again, or of giving your heart to a path that doesn't work out. But the only thing keeping you stuck is the belief that the past will repeat. This card asks you to trust the crossing, right? To go all in and to believe that you are safe on the other side. Maybe some of you here are the burnt out mystic, right? Maybe you're a creator who shared vulnerably before, but you felt like it landed on deaf ears, or you were mocked, or you were misjudged, and you hesitate now. But when you try again, and this time it's going to be from a healed space, and then your audience embraces you, or you find a more aligned one. Maybe some of you here are more of like the grieving guide, right? Maybe you're someone who left a toxic job or relationship and is in the liminal void, and you keep your gifts hidden, but the moment that you share your truth, the floodgates open. Maybe some of you here are the watcher, not the doer. Maybe you're a person who has all the content ideas, but you watch others execute it. And then you realize that your fear of it not working has cost you years of joy. So yes, the past can hurt, but this is not that, Pile 4. Your future is built on healed soil, and it's safe to plant your truth now. We also have Dog Spirit. This one says, be loyal to what you love. This pairs with the Six of Swords really beautifully because it reminds you that your success depends on consistency and heart and loyalty to your why, not just strategy. So you don't need to chase niches. You need to root into what you've always loved, right? Your joy, your voice, and your sacred obsession. That is where the gold lives. So maybe some of you here are like a steadfast creator. Maybe you're a YouTuber who stayed true to their spiritual insights for years, even when it was niche. And then your audience slowly grew into a tight-knit, high-converting community. Maybe some of you here are the devoted writer, right? Maybe you're somebody who blogs weekly about shadow work and healing, even when no one reads it. But then a year later, you're getting podcast invites and paid subscribers. Maybe some of you here want to have a truth channel. Maybe you're a tarot reader that never caved to trends and you kept showing up with integrity, and now you have a brand that other people trust deeply. So I feel like the niche that you're meant for isn't new. It's the one that you've loved since the beginning. So it's your time to be loyal to it, and it will be loyal to you. Let's talk about what success will look like when you step into this path, and we'll get a snapshot of your future as a thriving content creator. So we have the sun. She looks like she's at peace here. I feel like you're going to be at peace. This is pure radiant alignment, and when you step into this path, you become fully expressed, fully visible, and fully lit up without shame or apology. The sun is recognition, clarity, love, and abundance. You're no longer hiding, you're thriving. So your success looks like being deeply seen and celebrated, not because you perform, but because you finally let yourself be real. This is not fame for fame's sake. This is purpose-driven light. So pile 4, maybe you are a visible truth teller, right? Maybe you're a mystic who shares a deeply personal video and it becomes the cornerstone of your brand, bringing in clients or collabs and soul-aligned prosperity. Maybe some of you here want to be an integration guide where somebody teaches through lived example and you show how spiritual truth and daily life merge. Maybe your content becomes gold because it's real. Maybe some of you here want to have a radiant channel, right? Like after years of dimming your magic, you're somebody who lets your joy shine through your voice or your visuals or bold storytelling, and that becomes unforgettable. So pile 4, you were born to shine, and your truth is not too much. It's medicine, and the world needs you to be fully seen. We also have mortar and pestle, integration, subtlety, and thoroughness. So yes, the alchemy of subtlety and wisdom and depth is here. And I think this is saying that your success is not going to be in extremes, but it's going to be in your ability to blend the mystical and the grounded, right? The bold and the quiet, the truth and the tenderness. You're not flashy, you're potent, and your niche thrives when you take the time to integrate what you teach. You're not here to entertain, you are here to transform through depth. So maybe you are the alchemical coach, right? Maybe you're a creator who teaches slow transformation and you don't promise fast results, but your audience returns again and again because the work lasts. Maybe some of you here are the deep channeler, right? You're somebody who shares subtle but profound insights through written musings or voiceovers or soft visuals, and you build a sacred brand that magnetizes deeply spiritual clients. Maybe some of you here are ritualists, where you're somebody who crafts guided rituals or ceremonies to help others integrate change or awakening, and you become a midwife of inner transformation. So pile 4, you're not loud, but you're lasting, right? So your success will be subtle and sacred and steady because you know how to turn wisdom into real change. So let's get some astro dice for you, pile 4. So we have the South Node in the 3rd house. So I feel like this represents letting go of surface level info and people-pleasing communication. So pile 4, you've mastered talking and teaching and gathering info, but staying too local or scattered or in small talk drains you. So your success is going to come when you stop over-explaining or playing it safe, and when you speak from wisdom, not just facts. So some profitable content niches could be like having deep truth type of tarot, right? So like not what your audience wants to hear, but what they need to know. Or maybe you want to offer big picture guidance from daily chaos to soul alignment, right? Maybe some of you here want to do intuitive teaching, right? Going beyond tips like sharing downloads, sharing truths, and sharing spiritual insight. Maybe some of you here want to do unfiltered channeling and higher wisdom, right? From chatter to clarity. Or maybe you want to do something around overthinking to knowing, right? And really helping others trust their inner voice, not just logic. So the key vibe here is elevated, it's purposeful, it's honest, and it's a big soul perspective over busy thoughts. So thank you so much, friends. If you are building your dream life through content creation, I've got more readings coming that are all about aligning with abundance, purpose, and your unique creative calling. So remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to keep manifesting with us here every week at Tidal Tarot. Remember, your voice, your story, and your energy matter. The right people will feel you when you speak from your truth. Pile 4. If you want to go deeper, check out my other readings on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. I have tons of pick a card readings on manifesting your best self, your best life, your dream career, home, money breakthroughs, and your next level self. Thank you for being here. As always, it is such an honor to read for you, friends. I will see you on the next video. Bye, Tidal fam. Lots of love.